Hello, I'm Swimming Tuna, and I'm the creator of Lord of the Mysteries Craft. This is a mod based around the web novel Lord of the Mysteries, and small spoiler warning before I start explaining everything and all that. There are some spoilers for the power system. If you've read the web novel and have read like a decent bit into it, this shouldn't concern you. But if you are only watching the anime, then there is going to be one small spoiler which you have to be aware of. In addition to that, there will also be showcasing of some abilities, not all of them, just a few. So if you want to save a bit of surprise, just be aware of that. So to get started, for those who have not watched Lord of the Mysteries, I'm going to give a quick explanation on the power system. There are 22 classes called pathways, which you can see here, all 22 of them. And of these 22, there are only 5 in the mod, all the way up to the highest level, which, spoiler warning here, is sequence 0. So we have Apprentice here, Monster, Sailor, Spectator, and Warrior, all of which are up to sequence 0 in the mod. So what's a sequence? That's pretty much like the strength of it. So for example, let's say I'm sequence 9, that'd be the weakest level of strength in a certain pathway, and if I'm sequence 0, that would be the strongest. So in the mod, there are currently no recipes. If you've watched the show, read the web novel, or whatever, you know you have to craft potions in order to advance. In the standalone mod, there are no recipes, but in the mod pack, Path of Divinity, you can find some. So, that being said, if you want to advance and just test out some powers, you do slash beyonder, LOTM, let's just say Sailor, and 5. And like that, you gain some passives. As you can see, I have armor bars despite not having any on. I get extra health, my spirituality gets bumped up. And speaking of which, spirituality is a type of mana. So let's say I want to use one of my abilities here. Let's say lightning. I use it, you could see ability is cast and spirituality is used up and promptly starts regenerating. So yeah, as you can see, but by the way, all of the abilities are stored in slash abilities. There are some passives, which I will show off later. For each pathway, they each have their own unique little thing, but all the manual abilities you can use are right over here. If you want to see all of the abilities, you can check out the wiki page, which is linked on the CurseForge mod site. So yeah, but you obviously could see way too many abilities. Let's say I just all of these, even at sequence 5, not enough. So what I have done, if you've played Windcraft, you might see some similarities here. Let's say I do ability put load. You can see at the top right, some abilities are able to be used by using the keys. So you could configure them as you wish. By default, just because it makes it the quickest possible way to cast abilities, have R as the O key, X as the X key, and clearing inputs as C. So what's that mean? Let's say you see lightning target up here. So I click O, 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 O. It casts the ability, spirituality is used, and the cooldown is also shown. So you can see 2 seconds, 1 second, done. Not all abilities have this because let's say an ability like this, wind manipulation, you could left click to cycle through them. So having just this singular item in your item is like more efficient. Same, and yeah, same thing with Siren Song. That's why it's not up there. And yeah, but let's say you do want to have them, you can just do slash ability put. Let's say OOOOX LTM Siren Song Arm, and then by doing that, the ability is cast and it does its thing. I declare this killed something. And yeah, C, let's say I want to do this and I just realized, oh, I don't want to cast this anymore. Firstly, it can disappear on its own over time. And secondly, let's say you want to do it quickly, you click C and it resets the inputs. So let's show off some of the abilities. Let's go to creative just for this. I could fly around a bit, show them a bit more comprehensively, and no need to explain spirituality. So I just summon a wither, for example. Let's go to spectator pathway now. Show some of that. Spectator, let's go sequence 1. Prophecy, you left click to cycle between them. Let's start out with this one, meteor shower. Meteors come in. And yeah, also there's a bunch here. Let's say I want to do sinkhole. And yeah, create the sinkhole. And there's a huge array of abilities per pathway. Right here you can see they're also passive, so let's show off one of those. Let's go near a ocean maybe, if there is one. Perfect, some fish over here. So let's demonstrate it. Difficulty hard again. Let's go to Sailor Pathway Sequence 1, and this is an example of one of the pathways. Okay, see what happened there. Sequence 0 is called Tyrant, so the whole idea of that is you're a Tyrant, and you kind of just force the mobs to go up there and sacrifice themselves to deal some damage to the enemy. That's pretty much the important stuff. Let's show off one more pathways ability. Let's go to Warrior. That's a good one. As you can see, the passive this one is much bigger. I would take less damage. And let's say I want to use this, the Dawn the Armory. Get a nice little armor of Dawn. Let's say I want to be big, gigantify. I become pretty big. And let's use a Twilight Beam. Let's use it using the ability system, or the input system. So, what's it? Where is it? I'll just use Silver Rapier then. Peaceful, difficulty hard. Summon a Wither, and I believe it was OOOXX. A little fate reference here. Swords are shot out, and yeah, that's how the abilities work. That's pretty much everything. And yeah, I'm gonna be making other videos showing off more features of this mod, and let's just end it off with a little how should I say it, cosmetic thing. Did I go to nighttime? You might have noticed this earlier if you looked at the moon, but got a big old moon in the sky, and similar to the show, it is red. So yeah, that's about it. I'll be making more videos. If you guys have any suggestions like PvP or PvE versus another mod, feel free to ask, and yeah, that's that. See you.